Picture this. You're in the middle of editing several projects in Davinci Resolve. You haven't backed up your project library in a few weeks, and your computer dies. Won't post, won't boot, won't do anything. What do? Well, welcome back to Creator Reality. I'm John. Normally, I'd have a tutorial for you based upon the struggles and successes of my weekly editing, things I figured out, things I worked around. But not this week. Unfortunately, I spent most of the week setting up a new computer. But I didn't lose any of my editing. And I had like 5 or 6 projects in the middle of editing. So it was not like I really wanted to start over and lose dozens of hours of work. So while I tell you this story, I'm going to show you what you can do to prevent this in the future, how I worked around it and didn't lose any of my work. I'll share a few takeaways, talk about the specs of the computer that I replaced my dead one with, and a bonus tip at the end in case you're, well, OCD like me. So with that, let's dive in. Let's start with the old computer. It had an AMD 9800 X3D CPU, an NVIDIA 5070 Ti graphics card or GPU, and 96 gigabytes of 6400 megahertz RAM. I mean, it was fast stuff. DDR5, all the latest and greatest. But ever since I bought it, which was a year ago now, it had issues. Shortly after I got it set up and I was editing, it would crash. It wouldn't just go black screen, which was common with the 50 series graphics cards. It would go black screen, still hear audio, and then it would just reboot on its own, or you'd have to hard reboot it yourself by holding down the power button. Not ideal. I DDU'd the drivers, I installed new drivers, I installed Windows updates, I had Windows reset settings, and finally in January, I had the computer reinstall Windows from scratch. Pro tip, and the first Resolve related tip, if you have any licenses, like I did for Davinci, you need to deactivate those first and make sure you have your license keys for when you set up your new installation of Resolve on the new computer. Yep, Davinci only gives you like 10 redos, and I've used a couple of them now. Whoopsie. Anyway, even after I reinstalled Windows, it was a month in and it crashed. And then it crashed again while I was editing, and that was bad. That was a first. It hadn't done that. Normally, it was crashing while just playing YouTube. Fine, okay, I get it. It didn't hurt anything. But this hurt, because this was, I'm starting to lose work. But then it just crashed, would not post, like I've mentioned twice now, so that's 3 times. It was dead. I took it to the shop where I bought it, and they checked it in for service, and the manager found out about it and said, wow, we're really sorry you've had to deal with this so long. Let's make you a deal. So I picked up this MSI Raider 18-inch laptop. It has an Intel Core Ultra 9 CPU, the 285HX. More on that in just a second. It has the NVIDIA 5090 laptop card and 64 gigs of pretty fast RAM. Now, I know what you're saying. It's a laptop. It's not going to be as fast. And it's not. In some instances, it is faster, though. For this go-around, I decided to trade a little bit of speed from the desktop to the laptop, but also I increased certain things, like the recent particle tutorials that we've been doing here on the channel. They're 5 times faster now for rendering. That's a big boost, because I'm using those a lot, and I could use that. And I know I lost out on the RAM a little bit, and the GPU has 24 gigs of VRAM, not 32, like the desktop 5090, but it's still more than the 16 gigs that the 5070 Ti desktop GPU had. So it's an improvement there. It's all about trade-offs, just like life. So here's where the magic fix came in with Davinci Resolve, because while I was at the shop, I was like, look, I can't leave without some irreplaceable data on that drive. I had financials and Davinci Resolve project libraries and all that stuff on that internal drive. And they actually gave me the internal drive and sold me an enclosure to make it an external drive. Really easy process. You basically just slap the drive into the case. It becomes external. You plug it in via USB. Bob's your uncle. You are off to the races again with all your data. I was able to recover everything that was on that internal drive, and now I guess I have a spare 2 terabyte external really fast SSD. I think that's how that works. But here's the kicker. I had copied over my entire user folder for Davinci Resolve. So the Blackmagic Design folder in my users app data roaming. That's the one. It's on screen now, right? Is it over there? I bet it's over there. Anyway, that folder had everything I needed. It was my project database. It had my power bins in it. It had my projects, all my editing. And I copied it onto the new internal drive of the laptop and boom, Resolve picked it up immediately and ran with it. It's not without its faults though. I've noticed a few oddities and I may do a backup and restore and move the location of that project database. So it's not perfect. I did have one project in there, which was the first project I did or started on the new computer. And that one actually crashed the GPU driver. Yep, didn't crash the whole computer, but the screen went blank, came back about 10 or 15 seconds later and was like, I don't know what's going on, and Resolve crashed. But for that, if you experience that, the fix is to first try to create a new timeline and paste all your footage into that. You can paste your cuts. So if you're in your project like I am now, you can click in blank space in your timeline, hold Control, press A, selects everything, Control C to copy, create a new timeline, Control V to paste everything in, and that sometimes fixes it. If it doesn't, then you need to create a whole new project. But you can go back into that original project, do the same Control A to select all, and paste it directly into your new project. You might have to rebuild some Fusion stuff. I did, but you won't lose most of your editing. So I did that, and then it rendered out just fine, and I moved on with life. One of the things I had to do while setting up this new laptop was to relink a bunch of files in Davinci Resolve. So let's take a look at how I did that, because Resolve is very, very powerful at making this happen for you. And here in an untitled project, I do a lot of tinkering, so I've got a lot of files and a bunch of stuff going on. There's just a lot going on in here. So when you have files that are missing, you'll have this link icon up here that says Relink Media, and it'll turn red. If you click on it, it'll show you everything that's missing. Now, I've had a lot more missing than this, but I don't know where any of these files went, because unlike when I went from my first laptop to my now previous computer, the drive letters changed. So I took the opportunity to consolidate 4 external SSDs down to 2, and in the kerfuffle, the drive letters changed again. So I just went back and relinked all the media, and you can do it in the power bins as well. So we'll take a look at that in just a minute. But first, let me show you how to find your actual project media. So we're here in Relink Media, and I got a bunch of stuff. I don't know where they are, but I'm going to choose current videos. Okay, let's see if we can locate some of this. So I'll click on locate, and I'll navigate to this PC, and I think they're on my editing hard drive. So I'll click select folder. It's going to search them, find matching media, and it'll say 15 clips cannot be found, but there were 16 before, right? So let's click locate, and we'll go to editing 3, and we'll click select folder. And I'm just selecting the base drive, and it's finding everything. It's searching and looking for it. In this case, it couldn't find it. That's fine. I think they went into an archive. Maybe they're old. So we'll go into archive, and now I can give it an actual folder. I can just give it videos archive, and then when we're in videos archive, I can just click select folder, and it'll find it, and it found it, and now it's removed it from the list. And you can do that for all of these. You don't have to give it a specific folder. You don't have to go looking for it yourself. You can give it a drive. Honestly, it doesn't take that long, but if it is a hard drive with spinning platters, it's going to take longer, obviously, than a solid state drive or SSD. But backing out of that, in the power bins in my master, I have a bunch of music from the YouTube audio library. All of these were red. Well, you can click on one, hold Control A to select all, right click, come down to clip operations, and relink selected clips or change source folder. And either one will work. Let's change the source folder. It gives you a chance to browse for a new folder and find it. And then when you click change, and I'm not going to do it now because they're linked, all these little music notes, they would turn white if they were red if the files were found. So I went through and I did that, and I found all my assets and everything else that I've used over the years, and it was off to the races once I was done. Now, what could have prevented this in the first place? Well, let's go into the project manager and I'll show you. Here we are in the project manager. You get to it by clicking the little house icon, or there's a file menu to get to it. But we're here, and this is where Resolve starts up anyway, right? If you click on this little button in the upper left-hand corner, it'll show you your project libraries. And in here, we can do a sort, we can do a restore, and we can search them. But what we want to do is click Details, and now we're into my local database too, and it shows you the location on your hard drive where it is, whether or not it's compatible. And mine doesn't have created or modified in it, but that's fine. But we have backup, duplicate, and open file location. Open file location will open up File Explorer, showing you where this project library exists. Duplicate will create a duplicate of it, naturally. But backup, that's the one. When you click on that one, it'll bring you to a folder, and you can select where to back it up. And I've backed it up today, because that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to click on it. I'll click Save. Yes, it already exists. I want to replace it. Normally you won't get that. Click Yes, and it brings up this screen, Backup Project Library. This operation may take some time depending on the size of your library. You can cancel or back up. We're going to click Backup and then wait. Now, I've got probably a couple hundred projects in my project library, so it's going to take a hot minute to do the backup, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on the second monitor there. Are you enjoying the video? Have you learned anything? Boop the like button. Show me you care. And here we go. Project library backed up successfully. And click OK, and now you can go back into a project if you wish. Side note, you can restore, like I showed you earlier, the restore button, a project library backup onto a new computer, as I showed in this video up here. Now, what else could I have done? I could have saved that project library on another drive and then just linked to it from the new installation of Resolve. I don't want to do that. I really want permanent, fast access to my project library, because let me show you in Davinci Resolve's Preferences screen. Davinci Resolve Preferences, then we go to User, Project Save and Load, and we have save settings. So we have Live Save turned on, Project Backups turned on, Timeline Backups turned on. I have mine set to perform backups every 10 minutes. So if you're ever watching one of my tutorials and you see a little window blink on and off, that is that project being saved by Resolve every 10 minutes. We get hourly backups for the last 3 hours and daily backups for the last 5 days. And then I've selected a backup location. So it's doing project backups here, but the live save happens on the local computer on that C drive. Now, this next tip is not related to Resolve directly, but if you store anything on your desktop or on your local drive, make sure you're making backups of it on a regular basis. I left some financial data on the C drive, and I could have lost it had I not gotten that internal drive back. So beware, do backups. And earlier, I hinted at a bonus tip in Davinci Resolve. Well, one of the things I did while I was setting up the computer was I was running Resolve, and I was really paying close attention to all the details to make sure everything was running right. One of the things I found out is there can be a delay in the wireless microphones that we use so often. I've got one hanging up over there. It's a DJI Mic 2. And what I found was that it had a 3-frame delay from the audio to the video. And I ran a bunch of tests. I tested my Canon and the DJI Mic 2 kit on it. I tested the Pocket 3 with the Mic 2, and I tested my USB microphone that's plugged into my computer and the onboard Nikon mic. I compared them all, and I found that I had a 2 to 3 frame delay in all my wireless mics. So let me show you how to fix that in Resolve. Here we have a clip on a timeline, and this was recorded with my DJI Pocket 3 with the Mic 2 attached to it. It's really easy to fix. So we'll put our playhead on the clip, we'll zoom in, we'll pretend that we're editing, we do some cuts, and if I play this back, you can hopefully see it. I don't know if OBS is going to pick up on this, but it is 3 frames delayed. And as you can see, we are safely home, me and the 24 Road Glide. So how do we fix that? Well, each clip, we can come in and use our trim edit mode tool and just alt click on the clip, get this icon right here and drag it 3 frames. There, it's done. You'll see a +3 on the video and a -3 on the audio, so you know you did your trimming right. But that's one of the things I found, and yeah, wasn't too happy about that. And then after fixing one of my own videos, I went and watched some YouTube, and even big YouTubers with wireless mics, they have the same problem. They don't fix it, nobody cares, nobody notices. kind of a only if it's really, really off should you have to fix it, but if it's close enough. So I get it's a little bit long-winded for maybe not a lot of gain, but be warned, you should be backing up things regularly. And now you know how to back up your project library, you know how to enable live save and project backups in Davinci Resolve, and hopefully you avoid the scenario that I was in. For what it's worth, the new MSI laptop is working really well, minus the couple of snafus, and I've installed a new graphics driver since I got it, so it's working better and better. These new computers, they seem to learn and get smoother and smoother the more you use them, so hopefully that continues. But heck, the computer I had before that desktop, it too was an MSI laptop, and it still runs. I actually used it overnight trying to research what could have gone wrong with that computer so I wouldn't have the downtime, because I edit 5 to 7 nights a week for my various channels, and I just did not want to lose anything and have downtime. That was just like the worst thing that I could think of with regards to, you know, what we're doing here. So I will leave a link down below for it. It's not an affiliate link, it just has the specs. You can buy whatever you want, whatever works with your budget and what you're looking to do. I mean, this one's pretty good except for some really heavy fusion effects, but then you can just use the render cache. Do you know how to use the render cache? You can watch a video that I made on the render cache right here. And until next time, I hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. John out.